This game is an excellent example of gameplay in a environment with radar. We have a Des Moines, we have a Cleveland out there. We only have one stealth destroyer, and that's the Gearing. I'm in a Khabarovsk, and we're going to look at how to manage the Khabarovsk in this high threat environment. The Khabarovsk is less susceptible to the vagaries of radar. But this map has three caps that are close together. A opens into B. C is somewhat closed but has two windows. So what I'm doing is I'm watching very carefully, trying to scout, and initially I'm going to try to keep them from capping B if I can, see if we can find their stealth destroyer, kill it, know where the radar and air is. And right now the Clevelands, their radar ships, or our radar ships, are each reasonably spaced out. And I'm carefully scouting into B and watching so that I can sort of run in either direction. There's somebody firing over there, just that opening gambit stuff, so it's not going to indicate or disclose anybody. If nobody goes for B, I may try to cap it, but my assumption is we're going to have air and possibly a destroyer in here. So right now it's just scout and watch. Notice I'm not being terribly aggressive. We've got air over there. Now we're starting to spot some stuff. And there is a Des Moines, so we have radar. He can go 9 clicks. There's the Gearing, and he's coming in. So I'm going to open up on him and try to drive him off the cap and not get too close so that somebody I maybe can't see can't open up on me. Because if I go down or the destroyer goes down, we basically have a loss. And who have we got over here? Whoops, sometimes going in on replays, that's hard. That's a Vandergrove coming in, and I am detected. The Gearing's thinking of leaving, but he's got friends coming in. We've got a couple of cruisers close. There's the Des Moines. So they're going to be pushing in here. You can see from the mini-map. We need to hold, because they are going, looks like a heavy A-B strategy here. And when you lose A, it's very hard to get it back. It's very hard to get in B. So we're going to have to fight here. And that is one of the things, excuse me, with this map. If you lose A, B is very hard to take or hold. So I'm going to lay some serious shots on this this battleship that's sitting down there. See if I can't burn him up. Because with him sitting there and them having A, there's no way we're getting B or even keeping them from capping it. And other ships are starting to come in on it. They've got other folks over here coming in for A. They're much better position right now than we are, and they're actually capping B because I can't get in there and stop that Otago. So he's going to be my next target. Letting other people concentrate on that battleship because I can't really hit him as well down there. But as you can see, they've got an awful lot of power coming in here. I'm starting to get some hits on that Otago. But they've got a Musashi coming into A. They got the Vandergrove and Otago over there, and wherever that Gearing is. So they have now capped A, B, and I don't see any way we're going to stop them from capping A, and that's going to give us a disadvantage. They're already up 15 points, but if we can knock down a ship or two, we can keep them from getting too far ahead. I really can't come around, and the Gearing is leaving A. He's decided it's not worth it. I can see if I can get some shots on the Musashi, but unfortunately I think this wall is going to be in the way. But no way I'm going in there and dislodging him, and we don't have any other assets that can really work with it. We have gotten C, so at least we're not without a cap. Not having a cap with the enemy with caps, you're really hurting because you're going to start losing points you can't recover. So at least we don't have to worry about that in this game. And that's one of the critical things. On Sleeping Giant, Sometimes you get folks, they get blocked on A and B, and there's a fight for C or somebody keeping you from getting it, and you lose ships and you're down. Right now we're actually ahead because we have a ship, but that's not going to hold her. They're going to hold their own with it. So now we got the shimmy. I'm not quite sure why he came back into B. That probably wasn't his best choice, unless he was trying to sneak into C and now he's escaping for friendly sources, but he's going to have a hard time making it. They still have a firm control on A, even though we've got the Gearing back in there trying, which I guess he's going to try to get the Musashi, but it looks like they're about to lose a shimmy. But they now have A again, and we are down to me being the destroyer. And it looks like the Musashi is coming out. I can get a few clicks on him here, but they've got air coming up on me, and I'm going to have to watch my advance because the shimmy, it looks like there's some fish on the way out. So we are only, well, 20 points ahead, but we only have one cap, so this game is very much an open edge. I'm in torpedo range of that Musashi, but this Cleveland is going to be blocking my shot, so I have to be very cautious. When that Musashi comes out, I'm going to be in range of his secondaries, and if his main guns, which are quite likely pointed this way, open up, I could vaporize. If the Cleveland will give me a window, I can put fish right here. It's just he's still turning. Khabarovsk used to have 10-click fish. They got nerfed to 6. So the Musashi's in range, and these fish can hurt. I see where he is, and my Cleveland's out of the way. So I'm going to go ahead. I've already set one bank up. Well, actually, both banks. And they're actually not looking pretty good, although I assume he's going to start. Well, he's not backing up. I'm going to try to put him on fire. Even better if he drops the fire before my torpedoes get there. That is a big ship with almost 100,000 in HP, and it's melting pretty quick. And he's aiming at me. Then I've got somebody else, well, 3 ships now, but my fish are looking real good. Yep, there goes one. Those fish are going to get him. If fire doesn't burst, I'm going to try to get it on fire. Actually, they didn't get him all the way, but if we can get him on fire, he's going to burn down. Somebody else salvaged him. Maybe I'll get that kill. And nope, somebody else either got it or had the fire. All right, we are now ahead. They're down a lot of ships, but we're not down that far. We still don't have any caps, and there's still almost 12 minutes in this game, so they could still recover. Let's see if we can't burn down this battleship. And they have just a gearing left for a destroyer. I'm detected, but no, nope. And here comes a Monarch. So we have 2 battleships contesting the losing B. And I have torpedoes again in 10 seconds, so I'm going to close in on this Monarch, try to put fire on the Conqueror, who right now is broadside, and he's more susceptible to dying, which is going to take his guns out of the game. And let's see, Monarch's 7 clicks, 8 clicks away. Just about time to see, since he's heading straight this way, if I can't put a spread of torpedoes out. I got hit pretty bad there. Vandergriff is almost dead. Monarch is in there. Okay, I've got a fire going. Let's see if we can't put some fish out where the Monarch pretty much has to go. I've got 2 fires burning. So, not a bad engagement. And I got a Yamato that's closing up on me on the other side. So I'm going to open up fire on the Yamato just to make him nervous. By targeting my guns, he knows somebody's here, and they don't like destroyers. My fish are moving towards the Monarch. I might clip him. Yeah, the cross spread. Yep, there we go. 14,000 damage, 2 floods. Is he still flooding? Yeah, he's still flooding. See if we can get a fire on him. He's pretty well dead. And then we can start working on these caps. But you look for a second there, even though they were down ships, if you look real close at the score there for a second, even then they were doing okay as far as points. This game isn't over yet. It's pretty much a conclusion, but I've seen it happen before. You just can't ignore caps late game. They got a gearing. If they manage to hold 2 caps for the rest of the game with this kind of score, and just periodically clipped one of us, they would win on points. I had a game yesterday with a shimmy who got a solo warrior when he was the only ship left. We could not stop them winning because they had held the caps for long enough that they had an advantage in points. I've got 8 solo warriors, and of those, most of them were done in a similar fashion, where I managed to hold the caps or get a kill to maintain. So I'm going to work in capping B. Then I'm going to move over to A, and the Vandergriff is moving alongside A, probably looking for cover. So I'm going to see if I can't duck into A. Something else to remember in Sleeping Giant is that these rocks, depending on your trajectory, can be shot into or out of. And so there's a good chance that if I come along the port center of that area between the wall and the island inside A, I can get shots on the almost dead Vandergriff and kill him. I'm detected by air, but not really worried about that at this point. So we got this cap, and so now I'm going to move straight into A, angle in, bring my guns around. There is their gearing, so I know where he is. They still have 1 cruiser left, a Cleveland, and he's too far away to be a threat. So I've got pretty much open season on a Vandergriff that is virtually dead. He's got, if I hit him with about 4 rounds, anything other than the shatters are going to get him. And as you can see, I'm already going over the top, hitting occasionally, but now I've got a good line. I've fire and he's dead. So I'm going to finish capping here, and then I'm going to move and see if I can get either the gearing or the aircraft carrier. Another 21 seconds to cap. Start angling. And there is air in the area. Somebody else has the carrier spotted. He's way down there. So I'm going to cut to port. When boost comes up, I'll hit that. There's my solo cap. And this is an assured win at this point, so now all I've got to do is see if I can't build up some more damage. I'd like to break at least 100,000. And I've tanked just under 900,000. And there's been 82,000 and a half done on my spotting, so this should be a pretty good score. There's 6 minutes on the clock and 200 points left, although I don't know what kind of airplanes that bird farm has got left. If he's sending planes up, he might still get a kill and prolong the game. I don't see any way they're winning at this point. And it looks like he's pretty weak on planes. There's only a couple of birds in those squadrons. There's the gearing. He's behind a wall, and there's a Cleveland on him. So I'm going to go ahead and just focus on seeing if I can't get the carrier. He's still got some health left. Gearing looks like he's blowing smoke. Nope, there he is. Because I won't be able to get shots on him right now. And actually, the way I'm going, I may be able to flank the Gearing and engage the aircraft carrier. And there's torpedo bombers, 3 of them. You know, I'd prefer not to face those 2. And I now can open shots. Let's see if we can't just stop the aircraft carrier's ability to launch birds by putting a fire out there. And there's a fire. Gearing is getting closer. Now I can get shots on him if I want. Looks like the Cleveland's going to get him, so I'm going to continue to focus on the aircraft carrier. Let's see if I can get him. Nope. Somebody else got that kill. There's the Gearing. So we're going to work on closing this up. Actually, he's got fish on that Cleveland, so... But the game's almost over. If he takes the Cleveland out, it may go longer. Yep, he took the Cleveland out, so... See if we can't kill the Gearing in the game, save us all 4 minutes. Shots out. And this should do it. Yep, and the game. And I'll give you the results and build. Thanks for watching. So here are the results from our Sleeping Giant game. We did just under 110,000 in damage from 174 gun hits and 3 torpedo strikes. We got 2 kills. We shot down 1 airplane. We got a solo cap and an assisted cap. And we came in second on the team with 1,717 in ship XP. And the detail report shows that we had just under 87,240 damage on spotting, caused 4 fires, and we tanked just under 900,000 in potential damage. And we got 93 of 180 capture points, which added to our overall benefit on our end-up take-home pay. We sunk the Vandergrub. We looked like we were just clipped him at the end, but earlier on we did a bunch of damage on him. About half of that was from fires. The Gearing, the Monarch, and that was more than half due to torpedoes. So never forget that this boat has torpedoes. They're not as long as they used to be, but they can still hit. And the same thing is true with the Musashi. We did 15,000 and a half damage on her, and of that, 1 torpedo did 12,500. Lexington we fired down a little bit. We chased off that Otago. We clipped the Yamato as he was coming around that corner. Battle lasted just over 16 minutes, and we didn't make that much in take-home pay, in part because I was using the Stormwind camo to increase my free XP. I'm working on getting the Kronstadt, and I need about another 250,000 free XP. So 6124 in ship XP, and the Stormwind increased the commander XP, so we took home just over 8,000. This is a 19-point skipper, which I'll show you in a minute. And so that's all going to be converted as commander XP. So here's the ship and commander build. I always use premium consumables unless there's some glitch and I don't have them selected. It's just a real benefit in this ship to have the extra heal and the extra speed. And part of that comes from the way I've got her configured. In slot 1, we have main armaments modification 1. Some people do go ahead and opt for magazine modification. The Cobb is prone to having her magazine detonated, but I'm more concerned that my main battery's working. I want to be doing the damage, and I run last stand. Here I have the engine boost modification, which is a special mod. It increases the action time by 50%, and this is a run and gun boat, so the more running the better. Alternate might be damage control or propulsion. I would, if this is all possible, run it, if not one of the others. I could run the smoke generator, but that I don't run smoke, so it's worthless. The gunboat is based on heels, not on smoke. Some people, if they run smoke in their Cabo, might consider using that, but not me. Rudder shift is critical in this. When the wargaming people nerfed the Khabarovsk or attempted to, what they did is they made her steering worse. Once upon a time, I would have opted for more of a concealment build, and so I would have gone with either propulsion or probably damage control, but steering gears is it. And the same thing is true here. Um, like I said, I used to run concealment. Now steering gears mod is the only way to go. It reduces the modification it reduces the amount of rudder shift time by 40%. That's critical in this boat. It gets it back down to 5.3 seconds. Otherwise, it would just be unworkable. And here, really, again, the only real choice is main battery modification. Get that speed up. The ship traverses real well, and she angles so well that you can get your guns on something without a real problem. Let's look at our captain build. As I mentioned, this is a 19-point skipper, and he is rigged to be a gunboat skipper. So priority target, you do want to know how many people are shooting, and if you want to get out of there or wiggle or seek cover. Preventive maintenance, you want to keep those main turrets working. You don't want steering gears going down on you. Everything else on this really doesn't add as much benefit. Then next would be last stand. You have to keep, again, the engine and the steering working. After that, the next one I would take would be superintendent. Again, getting those extra heels and speed on here. Then after that, probably survivability expert, demolition expert, and then finally your advanced fire training. And that all together is the captain build, and that is our ship. I hope you enjoyed all this. Hope you'll subscribe if you haven't already. Feel free to leave comments, and thanks for watching.